People love magic, and in the world of magic, movies have made wizards real, and illusionists command awe and disbelief. Sleight of Hand takes us back to our childhood. And so, here's Jerry. His whole life is magic.
Coming out! And we got a great show with this, man. Great time to see him. Great show with this, and great time to see him. So if I do this, I need both hands. So you need.
In getting to know Jerry over the past couple of years, I've become very interested in his professional life. His magic tricks take me back to my childhood, and I remember magicians on TV filling me with awe. And now here was one in my cafe, right in front of me, my own personal magician. I told Jerry it was time for somebody to tell his story. Jerry is a native of San Francisco, born in July of 1947, at the beginning of the baby boom. Jerry's father was a sign painter, and his mother, a homemaker. Jerry has been performing magic since childhood, but before giving the street performer's life a shot, he had his hand at sign painting. Jerry admits he wasn't very good, and that it wasn't really a good fit. Jerry's first love is magic.
This library here is worth at least 5,000 smackers.
Well, that looks like 40 years of...
40 years of collecting books, but the books help you a lot.
Magic land of Alakazam.
How did I become? Watching Mark Wilson on television. He had a Saturday show. And then when I decided to become a ventriloquist, I went and got myself a dummy. And I was going to be a ventriloquist. After I met my best friend as a youngster, his name was James Henry.
Okay.
And he was doing magic, sort of like a street act out of his garage. And I got interested in going and watching him, and asked him how to get interested in the magic. And for a long time, I was setting him up and tearing him down.
So he had garage shows?
Yeah, we were doing garage shows. And then I looked up magic shops in the phone book and started going to magic shops. And that's when he figured I was really interested, so we started putting shows together.
Hi, my name is Joe Pond, and I'm the owner of Mr.Magic's Magic Shop. We're here in San Francisco on 9th Avenue. We've been here in business for like 20 years now, and it's not just a regular magic shop. This is a professional magic shop. This is where all the top pros come. You see them on TV. I also sell to kids. But everybody and anybody who's into magic always comes and see me. Jerry, oh my gosh, I've known since I was a kid, when I was hanging out. And I've known Jerry maybe like, 30, 40 years now?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
And he is the oldest street performer on in Fishermans Wharf, and probably a legend in that sense.
Jerry isn't just Mr. Magic, the San Francisco street performer. Jerry is also the author and collaborator of the 1981 manual and instructional book, 3-Ring Routine, Chinese Linking Rings.
My version of the trick, and Price Burlingame, who's a magician and writer, came and approached me and wanted to put it on book, so we sat down and that's what we did. We put it in book form.
Jerry is also mentioned and featured in Royal Touch by the great Cellini.
Cellini was pretty good. Is considered one of the best magicians in the world. But yeah, we became friends, and we used to do favors for each other, and one thing led to another, and Cellini got sick, and he died.
He's trained from a very good friend of mine, Cellini.
Okay.
And Cellini trained him. He was the greatest street performer in the world. He passed away a couple years ago. But Jerry was trained from him.
He met me
Where?
performing on the street.
Here in San Francisco?
Yeah, he was in San Francisco walking down the street, and he saw me, and he stopped to watch the show.
Then he introduced himself after the show?
Yeah, but I already, the way it went was that he introduced himself, and I said, well, from the description that other people said about you, I already knew that you were Cellini when you stopped to see me when you was walking down the street.
So you already knew his...
Yeah, but he also did a lot of favors.
Yeah, of course. You guys were friends.
Yeah, he explained that he was wondering why I was mumbling, and he said, if you're smart, make an appointment and go see an ear doctor, because I think the reason you're mumbling is because you're starting to lose your hearing, so that's how the hearing aids got put in.
Jerry speaks of Cellini as an old friend and mentor, whose great influence on Jerry made him a better artist.
And then a couple of times before Jim died, he said, you did what I was hoping that you would do. So now we're really tight friends, because you do what's necessary to correct your problem and get better. And I like to associate with people that are willing to take ideas and work with them. So since you don't have a hearing problem anymore, it's going to be real easy to better your show.
For 40 years, Jerry's routine has been the same. 5 days a week, Jerry wakes up in his small studio apartment, takes a shower, and gets ready for work. He then takes a small walk down to his local cafe and has a bite to eat.
Don't forget the catalog.
And goes home, grabs his gear, and jumps on a bus down to Fisherman's Wharf.
And I thank you. Yeah, we could have gone. When I go to the magic shop, I always take the bus. Coming out.
People come from all around the world to visit San Francisco, and Fisherman's Wharf is perhaps the most visited of all the tourist locations. Home to hundreds of shops and restaurants, this is the tourist capital of the city. Fisherman's Wharf is home to hundreds of street performers, musicians, magicians, clowns, caricature artists, and those metallic painted people. For 40 years, Jerry has performed on the same spot in San Francisco. Right now, it's in front of the In-N-Out Burger. There are no real defined places for street performers to perform, but everybody respects that this is Jerry's spot.
The whole shipment. Last time you
Jerry performs classic sleight of hand magic.
He said, "Don't you see the faces
The
on the
closer you
front
look,
side,
the less
the
you
backs
see."
on the back side?" I said, "No, you really got to convince
These
me."
days, any amateur can go online and see videos or find instructions for many of Jerry's tricks. But it's just not the same. Honestly, it takes the magic out of the whole thing. The real magic is in the audience, and it's only drawn out by a skilled magician.
Our flush card gets you hit somewhere in the deck. Not only that, but if you take a look at it,
You know, the
you'll
secret
notice
is
there's a
only
resemblance.
5% of the trick.
Yeah.
The real trick is the presentation.
Yeah.
The real magic of any kind of doing, it's not just the trick, it's the presentation,
Right.
the psychology, the timing, the entertainment value, how we think about it, what we're going to do, where we're going to do it, how we hide. Like I said, misdirection is the key to everything.
Tell me about some of these missteps, like something that made you
Yeah, when you
almost...
get sick, you can't perform. Well, when I got sick and the doctors figured that it was time to have the bypass, I went in and had a bypass. Recovery time.
Did you think maybe you weren't going to be able to be a street performer anymore?
No,
You always had a plan to go back.
yes.
Well, when you were
that's
younger, did you
Jerry.
have any...
For as long as I've had the pleasure to know him, he's always been his own man, dedicated to his art and the mastery of his illusions. He's kind-hearted, funny, and dedicated to entertaining others. Those of us who know him know that he's sometimes nostalgic, often very loud, but always warm and willing to shake your hand or buy you a cup of coffee. Jerry is a man like they don't make them these days, never regretting his life choices and only looking forward to tomorrow. He's a legend.
Now, I'm a legend.